Jordan George, the Senior Manager of Technical Policy for SPAA. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thanks a lot.
So look, in your presentation, it sounds too good to be true, right? I'm just going to, I want to get this right.
No worries.
Okay, excuse me. You're talking about selling your small business and putting that money into super and then not paying tax.
Absolutely right.
Sounds too good to be true.
It does sound too good to be true, but
what do we say about everything that sounds too good to be true?
Probably is.
Right.
But not in this case.
Okay, so how does it work?
This is an important part of a tax law. It's called a small business CGT concessions. And what it basically does is that people who have run a small business, and they have to be an owner of a small business of a certain percent, and also people who have under $6 million in CGT assets themselves, they are able to sell their business and not pay tax on the majority of the money that they receive for their business. And then with some other parts of the super law, we can take that money and put it into their super funds without any other tax being paid on it. And the reason that the tax law allows us to do this is because the government wants...
You've got a smirk on your face.
I do have a smirk on my face because, like you said, it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
But the whole idea behind this is that the government wants small business people to put money away for their retirement.
Okay.
So it's a really good incentive for people when they sell their business, not to go on an overseas holiday, not to go and buy a new mansion somewhere, put it away for your super so you can live a long and healthy retirement.
Okay, I suppose the thing that sends off an instant alarm bell personally is that whole thing of not paying tax. Because we're brought up to believe, and rightly so, that we should expect to pay tax and we should pay tax.
Yeah, that's right. And one of the things that goes with these concessions and why they're so tricky and so technical is that because they're such a generous tax concession, we have really tight restrictions around who can use them and how they can be used. So what we call them ring fencing in the tax law, and what it is that only certain people can get through to use these concessions. So you have to meet all these different tests, and once you get through about 4 or 5 tests, you can then apply the concessions.
Okay, so when you say it's incredibly technical, so the broad brush stroke sounds easy enough. How easy is it once you actually get into the nuts and bolts of it? So a trustee comes to you and says, hey, look, I've heard about this thing. I'm going to sell a business and pay no tax. What's the reality of that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It sounds easy, and that's what people get excited about. They get excited about the no tax part, but don't get to the 90% of work that goes before it.
Okay.
And what we've got to do is when a trustee comes to us and says, I've heard about these small business concessions, I don't want to pay tax on sale of my business, I want to put it into super, well, we've got to go back and say, are you a small business entity? Do you pass that test? Have you sold an asset that's been used in the business, or has your business been active over the last 7 to 15 years? And then once we get through that, do they make different age requirements? Are they over 55 or are they under 55? Because then we have to look at different ways about how we use the concessions.
Okay, and is it better for the over 55s or the under 55s?
It's more generous for the over 55s, but if you're under 55, you still have a really good chance of putting away up to $500,000 tax-free into your super.
Okay, and then Peter Burgess was saying in his address in SPAA this year that you've got to be careful of retrospective tax changes. So what would be the chance that in 5 years' time the coalition are gone, the ALP come back? I don't know what the chances are.
Crystal ball gazing here, yeah.
But what's the chance of a new government coming in and saying, look, that was an outrage, it was just for the rich people and we're going to change that and retrospectively tax accordingly? Yeah,
look, I think there's a very minor, if not zero chance of that happening. The small business concessions have been around since the late 90s, and politically they are almost sacrosanct to governments. They are one group that I think we've got about 3.6 million small businesses in Australia, so they're a group of voters that the government doesn't want to annoy, and like I said, they really are there to help people put money away for retirement, so I don't think there's any chance of seeing the laws disappear anytime soon and getting stung by the ATO. Okay,
and Jordan, have you had or are you looking forward to a SPAA highlight for 2014?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a big year ahead of us in working with the government on the financial system inquiry and the tax paper. So we've got a lot of chance here to really keep pushing the industry forward and helping the government understand SMSFs. So yeah, we definitely have a few highlights coming up.
And how hard is it to have the government, the new government especially, understand what it is that SPAA's doing?
Yeah, actually I think so far the new government has had a good understanding of what we've done, and they understand SPAA trying to raise the standards in the industry, and also the new government is quite understanding of the SMSF sector generally, and they like the idea of people taking responsibility for their own retirement savings. So we're building a good relationship with the new government, and we've had a few good discussions with them already.
Okay. Jordan George, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Beauty. Perfect.